Hey everyone, Jim Gonzalez here, EDI Support LLC. It's another Wednesday. It's actually sunny and in the 70s here, or high 60s, almost 70. I can wishful thinking is to get into the 70s and 80s here in Pennsylvania. But thank you for checking in, seeing the video, seeing what we got going on. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about what the end of traditional EDI platforms means for your business. So what we're talking about is I had an organization that reached out. And where this comes from is this organization reached out and they said, hey, and I'm going to speak in specifics here. We used to be an DI Central client. We are now under True Commerce. We use the Amanio product to integrate with our backend system. And I said, oh, okay, that's cool. So, DI Central was an organization, EDI provider. They were purchased by True Commerce. True Commerce now takes over support for Amanio, which is an on-prem, basically a translation tool. It's a tool set that allows them to create their own maps, maintain their trading partners, all of those kind of things. The problem being is, at least this is what this client tells me. Am I an Amanio expert? No. Am I a DI Central expert? No. Have I moved clients from DI Central or True Commerce over to other solutions? Yes. So everything I'm telling you right at this phase is information that was shared with me that this client has Amanio, and Amanio is no longer going to be able to run as of April 30th, 2024. Now, if you go to the True Commerce website, you'll see that there was a migration plan or sunset announcement for the Amanio product. This client didn't know that. He figured they could keep running with Amanio and there would be no issues. Like, hey, yeah, we don't have support, but we haven't needed support in how long? We'll just keep running with it. Well, he found out from True Commerce that's not the case. The product will actually be shut down because the license server for Amanio will no longer be active. Just going purely off of what this client is telling me, I don't know the back end. I don't know if there's a license server. I don't know any of those things. But what I do know is April 30th, 2024 comes around, and if there is a license server and it stops Amanio from working, you're going to have issues. Your EDI is no longer going to work, and you're going to be in a panic call calling True Commerce to say, hey, can you turn that server back on? Because, hey, our Amanio no longer works. I got to show this. Hey, Roy. Good to see you too. So with the Amanio product, from what I understand, that Amanio product is going to be shut down because the license server is going to be taken offline. This client in particular is really rushing to figure out, trying to get True Commerce to leave it online for them so that they can get a migration plan off of Amanio. And that's why they reached out to EDI support, is to get them off of Amanio, because they want a solution that they can control, that they can do the mapping, that they can do the trading partners, that they can do everything that they're used to doing with the Amanio product. They don't want to migrate to True Commerce with their managed service. So just sharing that information from what was shared with me, that's why I wanted to have this video, and I wanted to get it out to people in a real life situation, because you're talking 6 days from now. As best as any EDI provider that's out there, and there's some that tout some craziness, nobody can get you migrated in 6 days. Can't happen. Don't care. Don't care what people try to sell you. Let's be realistic. I've been doing this for 26 years. You're not going to migrate somebody's system and have them fully operational, mean integration, not data coming into your platform, in 6 days. Never going to happen. Even if you're True Commerce. Okay? So now that we've cleared the air on that, the other thing that you need to think about is this. Anytime you're running on products that you seem to take notice, either A, it's getting harder to get support from the product owner, that's a problem. B, you take notice that the product is not having any enhancements, and there hasn't been enhancements in 10 years or plus. It's another problem. Okay? So there's products that are out there, and there's products like people have hit me up about Trustedlink for iSeries. Okay? Well, let's think about this. iSeries. From an IT technical position, how many iSeries programmers do you know that are out there in the world? Or people that maintain the iSeries products? You have to really dig deep to find those people. There's not a lot of them. There's not a lot. It's even smaller when you're looking in the EDI world. It's even smaller when you're looking for a software like a Trustedlink iSeries. And everybody can fight me on those things and tell me, oh, you're wrong. Da, 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 da. Proof is in the pudding. Try to find the people. And I'm willing to bet it's very hard for you to find them. I'm willing to bet it's very hard for you to find Trustedlink iSeries installations. So what I'm getting at is a lot of people need to stop relying and saying, oh, well, we're just going to stick with this because this works and it's already been paid for 5, 10, 15 times over. Well, that's great, but you're putting yourself in a position of failure. You're putting your position and your business in a rushing situation. Okay? Luckily for this particular client that's dealing with Amanio, we can work with them. We can get them handled. They did the right thing. They reached out to True Commerce. True Commerce is working with them. All of those things. So we're gonna help them. We're gonna get them up and running. Okay. The other people that are out there that are running on iSeries products and those type of things, again, I don't see, if I rub my crystal ball, I don't see those products existing in 10 years. And if they do, the only reason they do is because there's such a large installation base that has not wanted to migrate off of it. I see that with ECS and Delta. So again, I will tell you everything I know and be as transparent as possible. Do we still recommend ECS and Delta, which is an OpenText product, into client systems? If you want keys to the kingdom, you want to buy a license, you want to stick it on a server, whether it's existing server in a network or in a hosted network, I highly recommend ECS and Delta. Is there development with ECS and Delta? Is there new API features and functionalities and all of that? No. But I do know the installation base of ECS and Delta will take a long time to migrate, and there's a lot of people that I know that are still operating on that, and that is good money coming into OpenText. So it's not picking on OpenText or any of those type of things. A lot of the companies out there, EDI providers, EDI platforms, are all focused on the cloud. So if you have on-prem, understand that you might get a, hey, this is being sunset, if that installation base has already been migrated or majority has already been migrated. So just to help you with that, that's the aspect you got to think about, or you talk with individuals that are in boots on the ground, know what's going on, deal with everything that's out there, and have clientele coming to us and feeding us the market. Again, I know these things because this is what I do. I eat, breathe, and deal in EDI, API, and integrations. I have conversations all week long about these things. It drives my wife nuts to hear these things and know that this is what I do. And when people don't believe or they think I'm not fulfilling or I'm not giving them the right information, it's like, okay, then you don't have to believe me. Do your own due diligence. Look what's out there. Talk to other consultants. Hop on my Discord or our Discord and talk with individuals that do this day in and day out and see what they're saying. See if they believe in the eVisions of the world, the Amanio now, the other products that are out there, Trustedlink iSeries, ECS and Delta, any of those things that are out there, and people will be realistic with you and say, hey, listen, do they see on-prem Seaburger? Do they see Sterling Integrated? Do they see Gentran, as people used to call it back in the day? Like, do people see these things, and what's the migration, and where are the businesses leading to? Because once you're inside that small percentage, you're really running a risk. Because there's a lot of things that are going on for these big size organizations on the back end that they're going, hey, it's not really worth the amount of money for us to have staffing to host these calls, to have people that know these products when we're talking to 10 companies, 15 companies throughout the world of an install base. That's nothing for them. So understand the realistic side of things. And where I was going with the iSeries thing is, again, a lot of people, I've dealt with iSeries. My original associate's degree is specialized in System 36s and System 36s and AS400s. So iSeries is not outside of my spectrum. But a lot of them have gone to the wayside over the last 10 years. And things have moved to Windows. Things have moved to a virtual platform. Things have done those type of things because people don't want to pay what you pay for a server. A good server, just to start off on a small business level, is going to be $5 to $10 grand. Most people and most small to mid-sized businesses don't have that. Most large entities don't want to have a server farm to take care of all the apps and all the people that they got connecting into it. So think about this. Think about all these things when you're looking at what you're dealing with. So traditional EDI platforms on-prem, I cannot stipulate enough that they're going to the wayside. They're going to the cloud. They're going to iPaaSes. There's some that are still out there. There's some open sources that you can get, but are they going to be the product that you want? I don't know. Again, I can't make these decisions, but I can share with you the insight of, hey, this is what's happening. And again, these are insights shared here purely speculative and predictive in nature. We're not suggesting or implying that Trustedlink iSeries is currently being sunset or will be in the future, or discussions aimed at exploring potential market trends and preparing for various scenarios that businesses might face. You know why I just read that off? So that nobody can come and say, hey, Jim said this. And nobody can say, hey, I'm going to take legal actions against Jim. Because guess what? It's all speculative. It's all information. So there's different options that are out there. Businesses can adapt to ensure the connectivity and efficiency in their data interchange. But what they have to do is they have to prep for that. You don't want to rush into decisions. You don't want to rush into making a rash choice that now you're sitting with a 2-year or a 3-year contract, and it's going to cost you tens of thousands of dollars to break that contract. It's not a position you want to be sitting in. It's not a position that you want to be in, and you made that decision because guess what? You're no longer going to be in that position. They're going to replace you at an organization. If you waste tens of thousands of dollars for a company on an EDI solution or API solution, and it's something that they're just stuck and it's not the right move, you're probably going to be looking for a new job. So it's the reality of things. So best thing is come out, talk to individuals like myself at EDI Support, go to our Discord, go to those areas that can get you educated and can get you insight from people that are dealing with it day in and day out. The best practices and strategies for migration and benefits of a modern EDI solution is this: plan. Migration, the steps for migrating, a lot of them are the same. New systems, a lot of them are the same. Trading partners switch in and switch out. Industry switch in and switch out. There's some nuances that you have to change and you have to do, but a lot of it's the same. The steps of what you're doing are the same. You're collecting the data of your existing system, which means for connections, which means for maps, which means for trading partners. You're connecting the file formats of which you're taking those said X12, ANSI X12 documents and putting them to, whether it's JSON or whatever. So you want to gather the samples of what are you doing now? How is it being ingested into the ERP, WMS, or TMS, or even a custom homegrown system? What's the business process looks like? So you're gathering a full visual snapshot of the files, of the players involved, of all those things. Does that change from company to company? It does. There's some pieces you pull in and some pieces you replace with or add on to or whatever. But majority of it, 80 to 85% of it, is exactly the same. You are obtaining a snapshot of what it looks like. You're also looking towards what's the future of your organization so that you don't put yourself into a corner and you can build upon it, or you can get everything out the gate. A lot of these conversations I'm involved in when they're dealing in an iPaaS and a SaaS, it's like, hey, what are you looking at doing right now? But also, what are you looking at doing in the future? Even when I'm talking to my clients with ECS and Delta, hey, listen, EDI installed, buy it off the shelf, pay a small percentage for maintenance every year, and guess what? You get a full unlimited trading partner, full unlimited translation tool, communication tool. But does it do API in the greatest format? No. Can we make up for that? We can, to a certain degree. It somewhat gets into programming is really what it does, but you can. But understand that I'm going to tell you there's some pitfalls with ECS and Delta. The pitfalls, API. Pitfalls are you also need a SQL database. So you have to know what you're getting into to weigh the pros and the cons. It's the same thing when things are being sunset, but now you're weighing the pros and the cons of your business, your relationship, how you're handling things, what you're doing. That's a problem. Do you want to put your company at risk because you're being cheap? It's that old saying, you have to spend money to make money. But if you put the proper infrastructure in place to replace an archaic system, well, guess what? That system is really going to help you to make money. It's going to reduce your staffing, and maybe it boosts up your relationship with your trading partners. Maybe it does things that you weren't able to do previously. All of those things got to be factored in. And how quick can it be up and running? So that's my thoughts. That's what I got going. Like I said, reach out. Jim Gonzalez, EDI Support LLC. Check us out on our Discord. Join that. It's growing. We're over 600 people. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on LinkedIn. Give us comments. Give us likes. Give us thumbs up. Let me know if we're doing proper things for you and if we're helping you with this information. Again, a lot of this is just my insight. A lot of this is things that I'm seeing or hearing from clients. And I like to share it so that you're aware, but do your own due diligence. Look into these things. I'm not the end all be all when it comes to API, EDI, and integrations. We're a pretty good experienced team at EDI Support, and I try to keep myself as best informed of everything that's going on out there, but I don't know everything. And it's hard for any one person or any one team to really know everything that's going on. So take care, be well, and hopefully the weather's getting nicer for you. Have a great Wednesday and a great rest of your week.